Hello and welcome to my Vintage Audiophile YouTube channel. This is now my 46th video, and today I'm going to be talking about portable AM/FM cassette style mini components. In particular, this is a little demonstration of the different types and eras of Sony Walkmans. They started making them sometime around '84, and I don't believe they make them anymore because people's tastes have changed. They did do some MP3 type Walkmans in the 2000s, but the old AM/FM cassette type of Walkman died probably in the late 90s as people got away from cassettes and stuff like that. And the earliest one I have here is a Sony Walkman AM/FM cassette with analog tuning, which means that you have a dial over on a side here that you move back and forth to move the dial on either AM or FM. This one is probably from around mid 1980s, maybe late 1980s. It is kind of unique in that it has geared a lot towards the cassette part of this unit, and it has a selector to play just one side of the tape, or loop it and play the other side too. Plus it also has a direction that you can hit so that it'll play either side A or side B, whichever one that you want to listen to. It does have a little tape radio button on here to basically turn your radio or your tape on, and a normal chromium dioxide button here, and then there's also a Dolby B / FM sensitivity button here, depending upon which, if you get it on tape or radio. It does have a plug-in here for AC adapter, 3-volt AC adapter, and of course your headphones. It is a very rugged unit. Right here's your volume button, and it does definitely have a lot of features in it, and the sound quality is very good actually for a Walkman. It does have Dolby on it, and like I say, this is probably one of the oldest ones I have, and it is very good. It's got a removable belt clip on it. Then from around the same era, I got one which is kind of just your basic thing. It is basically just an AM/FM radio, lightweight as heck. Get your power on and off. You got the volume button and the tuning button over here, and you've also got your AM/FM band or your local distance for doing the boost to make the sound better, kind of like a stereo mono type thing. If you've got a local station or a distant station, it does come with the belt clip. It only runs on one AA battery, so once you put a battery in there, it doesn't get much heavier than it already is, and it's really light. And it's got your jack up here for your headphones. Then around the late 1980s, they started going with digital tuners. This one is a really nice one. It has silver face accents, even though it's plastic. The whole case is plastic, which is typical for these type of units. It does have has a cassette door in the back, and it just has your typical play, fast forward, rewind, and stop. It does have 20 presets on it, so there's 5 buttons here for presets, and if you push one of these either once or twice, 3 or 4 times, it'll go into either 1 up to 20. Your band button, your radio on-off button. It does have a headphone jack, plus your local distance button, and then it has what they call AVLS, and that's a normal or limit. That is a button that controls, it's kind of like an early bass boost type of button. Before they had the bass boost technology figured out too much, then a volume button. It is a very nice looking unit, and it does work really good. Most of the Sonys have a reputation for good build and good quality and good sound. Then when we get into the 90s, they kind of were looking for a new thing to boost sales, and they came up with a line of portables that were yellow in color, and that was their sports series, because they were finding out that more and more people were using them as they were jogging, and they needed something that was rugged and durable. And these are made to be a lot heavier than your normal ones, and pretty soon it got to a point where they kind of took over sales of the standard ones. So they, throughout the 90s, they produced quite a few of the sports series ones. And one of my earliest examples is just a common AM/FM one. It has a power on/off button, a key protect button, which is kind of like a hold button, so that as you're jogging, it doesn't suddenly change channels or something like that. It does have a clock on the digital readout, and a mode button for different things, a memory preset up or down, and it has enter, band, and then your tune up and down. On the side here, it has start and stop. It's got like a built-in timer, and then it's also got the lap and reset button. Over here's the volume button, and it does have the belt clip on it. Everything on here is digital except for the volume button itself. Nice little unit. It's pretty lightweight, and I believe this one also takes 2 batteries, but in order to change the batteries, the compartment is here, so you have to loosen up this screw here, take that off to access it, which is kind of a pain, but that's the way it is. And then on the back, it also has a manual back and forth local distance station type of thing. This one is another example of analog. It was probably the base model of the sports series. It usually was the digital ones that were more expensive. And this does have a cassette. It has phones, and then a volume, tuning, and your local distance, which are all rotary, in tune with the rotary part of the analog tuner. And then it has your stop, fast forward, play, and direction change on it. It doesn't have it like that other one I showed you as far as having be able to determine if you want to do one side or if you want to have it continuously loop. This is just a auto reverse button that you can play either side. And the phones are here. Most of the sports models had these things over the headphones, which I really don't understand, because either you're using the headphones or not. You can't listen to it without the headphones. The other thing that you'll notice about these sports ones, especially this one, is they're extremely heavy compared to other types of models. And on here, to make sure that the tape doesn't accidentally come up when you're doing it, it has a kind of a locking thing on here that you would use to open up to access the cassette tape. And then it also has your band button in here, as well as your local and distance button. And then it has your normal or chromium dioxide metal tape selector here. And unlike a lot of the other ones, when they started doing these sports ones, a lot of times the battery compartments were inside here. You had to flip it open this up to get your battery in there. Here's another sports one that is also analog, kind of on the same concept as the other one, except a little bit more newer model. This one is same kind of thing, where it's got the normal and limit for AVLS. Now this one also has a normal, mid, and max mega bass on it, which definitely makes the sound different. Then it has tape radio off, or AM and FM. It does have the headphone jack, which is again covered. And this has stop, fast forward, play, rewind, direction, and also the mode, whether you want to do it single or looped continuously, which is a much nicer concept. And then your volume and your tuning up is up here also. Then we have a little bit more expensive model, which is has mega bass. Plus it also has the 24 presets, radio on and off, and it also has the band selection here. And it also has your forward or reverse button, along with stop, play, fast forward, rewind, headphone jack, and this one has another snap type thing. And it also has the has like a protection guard over all your stuff here, so it doesn't get damaged or dirty. And then the cassette or the battery compartment is in here. Not quite as heavy as that first one I showed you. They got a little bit lighter on materials, but it definitely has a lot more features than the other one does because of the progression of their technology. Then after a while they started losing sales a little bit on the sports, so they decided to come out with Sports 2. And it's basically what they ended up doing was changing the color scheme of their Sports Walkmans from the yellow that was familiar with everybody to a white and orange. And this one has a hold button on it, so you can make sure that nothing gets accidentally bumped and changed while you're jogging. It does have a rotary volume button, and it has a radio on and off button with the presets, and also the tuning here, and then you got your AM FM, but it's also got a button here that it adds a couple things that weren't on other previous models, and that's TV and weather bands. And this one's 40 presets, and basically your presets are here. This one is like the other one too, with the AMF, or with the stop, fast forward, and reverse, plus the direction. And this has a nice little padded thing that you can adjust and put it on your wrist if you'd like, or if not, you can also use this clip here to clip it on your belt, which makes it a nice thing. It does have, like I say, the headphone jack with this on it, and this one is one of the few ones that I have that actually has the original headphone still with it. And so that's a neat little feature, because these old headbands are getting harder and harder to find, as people either lose them or throw them away, or because they want to get something quote unquote better. But this one has a very good sound to it. Sony's known also for their headphones. They've done many headphones over the years, so they've kind of been able to perfect it. Then over here we have another just AM FM one, but this is also the Sports 2, and like the other one, it's got mega bass, 25 presets, TV, weather, AM and FM. And it's kind of weird that they've got this all here, but if you want to access the other stuff to see what you're doing, you flip it over to do all the presets and bands and tuners and timers and all that kind of stuff. And this does have a rotary volume button, and then it has power, start, stop, and split reset. That's for the timer if you're wanting to time how long you're jogging or walking or whatever. And then a mega bass button. So that's kind of a neat feature. Then we go to the S2 Sports Walkman, and this one's just an AM FM, and the reason that is because it's a basically the headphone with built-in AM FM on it. It clips on your head, these ear guards, and you've got your volume here. You've got your local distance button, and then it's also got the TV, weather band, AM and FM, and as you can see, tune, mode, enter, mega bass, or clock. So it does have quite a few features for such a small thing. And then over here it's got the off and on for power. So it is a nice little unit. As you can see, the ear cup things have disintegrated. So if I ever use this one again, I'll have to probably get some more of those. I think I have some somewhere, but I just gotta find them. Then in the late 90s, they kind of went back to the original type of design, and this is a kind of an anomaly here, because I've got two of them that are basically look the same, but they're different. One is the FX 290 and one is the FX 290W. And I think they were probably made 1 year, and then next year they changed it with putting the W on it, or however that worked. Basically, it's AM, FM, weather, and then radio off. Here's your battery compartment. Here you've got the cassette compartment. A little hard to see there. And this one does not come with any type of belt clip or anything. I don't know why they would do that, but they did. And they've got 3 indents here. That's kind of for your putting your fingers there when you're holding on to it. It does have reverse, play, fast forward, and stop. Tuning up and down. Menu, set, and enter for entering your presets. This one says it has 33 presets with AVLS kind of built in. Now on this one, it says over here, TV tuner with AVLS. Everything else here is the same, but then they've got TV and weather band button here instead of just a weather band, because the other one does not have TV on it. Like I say, they look the same, except for one has that W on it, but otherwise they're exactly the same. I don't know why they did that, but apparently they like the concept of the thing. Looks wise, they just wanted to add some more features. And then this one, instead of 33 presets, says it comes with 40 presets. So this is probably the better one to buy if you ever want to buy something that looks like this, just because it's got more features on it, but they both sound the same and perform the same. Then I've also got one here that is just an AM FM Noaa Cassette on it. As you can see, I am missing the belt clip, which is too bad. And this has the FM sensitivity for local and distance. 5 presets here. I believe this one has 40 presets also. Band button, separate button for clock if you want to see what the clock is, when time is when you're using the radio. Most of these other ones don't have that type of thing on it. You almost have to turn off the radio in order to see what the clock is. Power button, a hold button, and then your tune time set for it does have the timer in it. This one also has the rotary volume button and the headphone button. This one is very light, which is probably easy to figure out, seeing as it doesn't have the cassette in it, and it's a lot smaller. It's very compact. This one you can actually fit into your pocket, either on your shirt or in your pants or whatever, but it's very light, very small. It's very convenient to use. And that is what I have for the Sonys that I have in my possession that I am aware of. When it comes to convenience, though, and I'm not in the mood to listen to cassette, I do have one more I can show you here that I have, which is very convenient, and this is a realistic made by Radio Shack, and it has right and left volume, AM FM, analog tuner, and your local distance. Stereo indicator was showing you that you're listening to your FM in stereo. Volume button, or actually, excuse me, not volume button, but tuner button to change your channels. The reason I like this one It doesn't have a belt clip on the back, but you really don't need it because it's looks like the little bit bigger than the size of a credit card, and it's very thin, so it easily fits into your pocket. And you got the headphone jack on top, so stick it in your pocket, and you can go around with it anywhere you go. It's the stereo mate. Like I say, it's realistic, aka Radio Shack, and it does work, and it sounds really good, and it takes 2 AA batteries, so it doesn't get too much heavier than what it already is, because AA batteries don't weigh that much compared to the double A's. So yeah, that's kind of my go-to when I need to listen to just radio. And the nice thing about this, as far as collectability, is the fact that I still have the original box too. And it says it's made in Korea for Radio Shack. And as you can see, they are showing somebody using it in their pocket, and that's exactly where it fits. So that is a good thing to have when you want the ultimate inconvenience and not a lot of frills. You don't need too many different frills when you're just listening to radio. So that is my presentation for today. If you're still watching this video, I thank you very much, because it did go kind of long today, but I had a lot to show you. And until next time, please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, please feel free to leave any comments, either positive or negative, and I will respond to them all. And stay safe, have a great day, and I will talk to you on my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.